really cool is if it was VR, so you're still getting a workout.
Yeah. No, that would be good. Yeah. Yeah. You get like VR arcades, gym, food, all the shops,
Nutrition,
right?
physical therapy,
Rock climbing,
chiropractic,
everything.
Chiropractic. I could never get the chiropractic.
I just say chiropractors. Thank you to the chiropractor. But yeah, you get all that, because now you're building, like you said, a community. So
we're building Nirvana empire.
Yes.
Fitness empire. That's what I want, dude. A health empire.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
It would work out amazing.
What I fucking want.
And honestly, nowadays, the market's in that.
Well, I was gonna say, you know, when people go into like nutrition and physical therapy and kinesiology, like, but they have no real direction with it, or like it's very limited.
Yeah. Like
imagine that place opens up access to all those things, and now you have access to all these clients for potential to start these things.
Yeah.
Like that would be legit.
You can start basically the Louis Vuitton of workouts.
Yeah.
What is that? Do you know what Equinox has? Like, what is their whole stick?
They're just like, they have a lot of classes, and it's just a really nice high-end facility. So like a lot of them have like outdoor pools on the rooftops.
So just like
bougie shit.
Yeah, just bougie gym.
I low-key would go though. There's one in Palo Alto.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
it
checks out.
It's not as amazing as like the ones in LA.
Yeah, because it's probably not on like.
That's like when you think Equinox, you think LA Equinox.
I think Valley Girl. That's what.
That's
yeah. Rich white girl spending their dad's money. Yeah, that's.
It's like $300 a month. I low-key. If I moved out to that area, I would get a membership just to be around other people who are able to fucking afford that kind of membership.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because now you're around people who can afford $300 a month.
Yeah.
So you're with people who can spend that kind of money, like it's
right.
Not like it's nothing, but like when you're spending that kind of money, you better get your dollars worth.
Right.
Yeah.
And those people better be smart enough or better be efficient enough to make $300 a month plus whatever other bills they have to pay.
Yeah.
So being around that's what I've noticed about like the gym is like you surround yourself by a certain environment there. Like,
yeah.
I go to Barbell, American Barbell, Old Gold's gym, and it's a little more expensive than going to Fitness 19.
Yeah, but you're talking about the one near that Safeway, right?
It's right out, right off the highway.
Addison used to take me there, and that's a good gym.
It's a good gym and I've been telling Neil this, and everybody who keeps asking me, it's a good gym to get fucking strong.
Yeah.
Everyone's in there, they're spending more than $20, $15 than like a Fitness 19, right? So everyone in there is goal oriented. Like at 19, don't get me wrong, love the people there. There's a lot. I know a lot of them.
Yeah.
My brother's he's like one of the biggest faces of Fitness 19. He is the face of Fitness 19 in my eyes. Anybody who comes into my bar, they're like, I know your brother. Like, I know. Everybody knows.
Yeah, because it's like right here.
The one on the radio. That one's like, they're like the gym, right? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, I know.
But like, isn't nice seeing it's like the Toyota Corolla of.
No, it really is. It's like a Toyota Camry,
like
just affordable. Everyone has one, or
everyone
can afford it.
Yeah.
But they're very community based.
Yes.
I was having an argument with a friend of ours who also goes there. She's a powerlifter. But she was like, I wasn't shitting on Fitness 19. I give all love because I kind of like the facilities there. Mm-hmm. But I was like, see, the thing though is like, you guys are all about the community, and I'm here to just. I'm not here to
people be talking all the time and stuff.
Yeah, I'm not here for that right now. Like I'm here for my goal to getting strong. Like, that's just taking time out of that. And at the same time too, I really can't go to that gym because I know too many. I would know too many people who come to my bar. I don't need to know people like that.
If they're gonna show up, you're gonna be in the middle of the list. They're gonna be like, "Hey, yo, I saw you at the bar last night." And now you have somebody to work out with, but also you have someone who's just gonna talk to you.
Not only that, it's just like I have to keep this screen going between me and my patrons. Yeah. And it's not like I don't want them to get to know me well enough. At the same time, like it becomes like this weird game where I'm not like trying to be like, oh, we're friends, right? Like,
yeah.
Yes, but no. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to play that game.
You're gonna come to my bar thinking we're friends, and you think I'm gonna treat you any differently than any other employee, and I can't have that.
Yeah.
Or any other customer, I can't have that. No. I mean, like, I don't know anything about the gym, quite frankly. I don't work out like that anymore. I might start next semester, but who knows?
Are you done with finals?
I feel like you say that every time we talk.
Well, no.
I'm gonna start next week.
No.
Now this semester. Now it's next summer.
Last spring and fall, I hit the gym fairly consistently with my roommate Johnny, remember? And I was like going probably once a week, you know, but I was consistently going once a week, you know what I mean? But then it was just like, that was mainly out of convenience and because I had Johnny. And Johnny's like one of those guys, like he's like you, right? So he's like, when you talk about going to the gym, it's not like, yeah, I'm going to the gym. He was excited to work out. He was excited to get like, you know, a good rep in, a good, you know, everything like that. But now, right. But like now I have one roommate who loves the gym, but he's not like on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm usually at like a solid 6 or 7. You know what I mean? He's like at a consistent 2 or 3 at all times.
What the fuck?
Like when I'm like, how's your day going? Pretty average. Could have been better. And I was like, okay. And then he'll come back from the gym. I was like, get a good workout in? He was like, could have been better. Could have gone stronger. And I'm like, oh, okay. And like whenever we talk, he's at baseline at all times. And then my other roommate, he's like, if I go to the gym with him, it's just gonna be us talking about. I know it's been a minute since I've seen you, so you haven't heard, but like, so we were talking. Me and my roommate were talking the other day. He brought up this conversation, and I got a little heated. I'm not gonna lie. So I was a little bit of a dick, and he got a little mad because the conversation was this: if you had the ability, take this. Imagine this is a pot, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I open it. I pour water in, right, just a little bit, and I close it, and I tap the top, and now it'll multiply and slowly fill up the entire thing. And you can create an infinite amount of whatever you can put inside of a container. What would you do with it? His first idea was oil. And I was like...
Was what?
Was oil. Infinite oil. So he could sell it and make a lot of money. And I was like, that's fair, but oil moguls are those kind of people that have you assassinated. Yeah, so I was like, what I would do is you find one really rare, really expensive material that's used in a big industry and just sell, like, you know,
you can't just put like $1.
I was just thinking that, like, I just put $1 in there.
No, so the issue with that and the ability, and we can move on, because I talked to this man for like 7 hours about this topic, and that's why he got mad, because I was like, well, you do this, you get assassinated. You do this, you get assassinated. I said, so you can't do the dollar bill thing because it makes a perfect copy of the $100 bill. So like if you put a $100 bill and you know a little barcode or whatever, the serial number, right? You'll just have 100 of that same serial number.
Okay, so this is the loophole to that.
Yeah.
You take that $100 bill, you take the multiples of $100 bill and spend them at different places to get like a candy bar.
Yeah.
So now that $100 bill that's been multiplied
so now you have
is now broken into $99 or $98, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now, okay, $1 loss, but you've made a $99 profit at different places.
No, but see, like that's the kind of thinking that I actually would have taken this conversation to the next level. I was not there. I was like, you make terbium. You just make terbium. You know what terbium is? It's like a type of silicone thing that they use in LED screens.
Why not just liquid silver or liquid gold? Like melt gold in there, and then boop.
Well, yeah, but there was that. But then he said that'd be an issue because if he has like 1,000 pounds of gold, where is he gonna cash all that in?
You take it to a jeweler.
You just take it to you just take any.
Yeah, but then he said that would put us on a radar of some kind, and then they'd start looking for somebody who's just making infinite amounts of gold. It's a stupid conversation.
You could just be like, I was mining in some fucking cavern or something.
If I showed up,
yeah, be like, you pull up some fake paperwork.
No, if I showed up here and said, "Hey guys, I got a million pounds of gold," you guys are like, "Where'd you get that?" I said, "Oh, I found it in a cave somewhere."
I mean, if you said that, I'd be like,
"Cat."
You'd be like, "I ain't got no time to mine." Yeah,
I like this man.
Kendall in a cave.
Kendall doing physical activities.
Me going out to actually try to make money. Fuck that.
Kendall getting lost on the way to the cave.
That's why I said. That's why I said I make turbot. Turbot. I make for a 1 inch by 1 inch square of terbium, which is you take a silicone wafer and there's a layer of terbium on top. Sells for $700. I sell one cubic foot per month.
I would do water first.
He also said water.
Yeah.
And I said that's fine as long as you don't try to make too much of a profit off of that, because then everybody's gonna be like, well, who's this fucking guy making infinite amounts of water somewhere? We don't get that much rain.
That's the thing. It's like the hydration would be so limitless. So.
But that's besides the point. We were talking about. I'm sorry.
You were talking about this at the gym?
No, we were talking. No, I was trying to play Magic and listen to a book. That's what I was trying to do. I was saying if we went to the gym together, these are the kind of conversations we'd have.
Like mid-set. You can't use that idea.
I was like,
drops the barbell on his neck. Fuck, damn it.
Right.
This is why oil doesn't work.
No, okay, so my only issue with oil was one, oil moguls are not the kind of people you be fucking with. Right? I don't want to fuck with some guy out of Saudi Arabia. It's just like, so where'd you find your oil? Oh, well, I'm mining in the ocean. I'd be like I said, I'm just trying to fly under a rig. It's besides the point. I'm not talking about this no more. 7 hours of my life has got into the conversation.
You brought this up.
No. But yeah, so that's why I can't go to the gym with my roommates.
I feel like that roommate doesn't even go to the gym then.
Oh, he would like to go to the gym.
He would like to.
Yeah, but I feel like
I know
he
a lot of
does.
people would like to do a lot of things.
Listen, you guys are the reason I don't lie to myself anymore. Right, yes. If I took it
I would like to be rich, you know? This guy.
I would like to make money, but work. So yeah, that's why I don't go to the gym I don't go to the gym at all, really, because fuck the gym.
No reason, just fuck the
Isn't that the
gym.
funniest thing though? Like,
He's like, yeah, I was
I'm
consistent
not
going
gonna lie
once
to
a week.
myself here.
Fuck
You
the
guys
gym.
are gonna call me out on it. You guys are gonna be like, Kendall, don't lie to yourself about, oh, if everything in my life was perfect, would I go to the gym? No.
If everything in your life was perfect, you wouldn't leave your house. Like, what the fuck?
No, I leave my house. I still need some level of social interaction, just not as much as I used to think.
oh man,
Like,
this is so funny though. He's like, fuck the gym, and I love the gym.
well, that's why.
But like, if you get him in the gym, he'll work out. It's not like you
I
won't do
do.
shit. Like, he won't work out.
Look, that's the thing.
That's the hard part. You're getting him in the
Yeah.
gym.
That's my thing, right? You get me wherever you need me to get. I'll do whatever needs to be done. But if I don't want to go, getting me there is gonna be a fucking hassle on your part. Look,
It was like that kid who's at the who's like afraid of the doctors or the dentist, and their mom has to trick them into going. Like that's how.
that's a fact. I haven't been.
Like, we'll get Cinnabon if you go to the dentist, bro.
Let's go pull up to like a gym.
I kid you.
Where
not.
the fuck?
I kid you not. Every time I went to the doctor to the age of 12 years old, if I went inside the doctor's office, I got a Slurpee. If I got a haircut, I got a Slurpee.
What the fuck?
You had to
He's
bribe
the
me.
way he is.
You had to bribe me to do anything in life. Fucking spelling tests. My dad, when I was in 5th grade, from 3rd to 5th grade, was like, you get A's on tests, I buy you a video game. Full video game. Not like, get an A on your report card, and I'll buy you 6 video
Like,
games.
get an A on a random ass quiz that doesn't matter for
I
shit.
would literally show up. I never got A's on anything. I would just wait for the spelling tests we have once a month, and I'd show up. Like, Dad, I got an A on a spelling test. Where's my video game? Can you buy me a video game?
This man finessed the fuck out of
The
that.
only one time I've gotten a video game outside of like a birthday or Christmas was. There's probably been a couple times, but the one I remember was, I was in 1st grade or 2nd grade, and we did this. We go to a park near our school for like an end of the year party thing. Yeah. And my dad was supposed to go. Like that was the idea.
Yeah.
He never showed up.
So.
Till he felt bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, he felt really bad, and I was really upset. And then like, he was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." Like, he was one of those. He's like, "I'm so sorry." I'm like, "It's okay. You can make it up to me. You can get me Pokemon."
Listen.
The new Pokemon game came out. He's like, Okay.
All right. $60.
The tears were gone.
Hey, that's how. Like, listen. I will never deny the fact I was spoiled. Like, this is how spoiled I was.
You can't deny that fact.
I can't.
We will never allow you to.
But this is how spoiled I was. Around in middle school, I would look at myself in the mirror, right, before I got acne and hormones and everything. I'd look at myself in the mirror before I had any of that shit and be like, not everyone's life is perfect. I'm sure one day I'll figure out what's wrong with mine. I knew the only thing I ever had to truly learn growing up was how to be not a brat and still be spoiled. Like, that was it. Like, as long as I didn't throw
like an anime series where it's like dude trying to figure out what's actually wrong with his life when he thinks it's perfect.
I mean, honestly, and I want you to know there was nothing wrong with my life. Everything went to shit when I hit puberty, but before that, my life was fucking golden.
Kendall's that character from like Kenny, who's like super the anime weed guy. That's you.
No,
my life is perfect. I'm just living through an anime. Like
I am. Like literally, after puberty, then life got hard because responsibilities hit the fucking pavement, and now I have kids. But before puberty, my God. I got video games for Easter in my Easter basket. That's unheard of for most
people. Get gifts in their Easter basket? I thought you just get like those chocolate eggs.
Yeah.
We did money in ours.
Oh, nice.
But like, it was among like 12 cousins. You know what I mean? We made on average like $5. But we didn't lose our minds over it.
But like you gotta also my family in a whole other state. I was the only child of divorced parents. They bought my love.
So sad, but
no,
also
but listen. My parents bought my love, even though they
they bought my love, and this shit worked.
Like my parents never had to buy my love. They were fucking golden parents. Like the level of trauma, like cumulatively. My mom called me the other day. It was the sweetest thing in the world because I said I thought she was mad at me. That's all I said to her because she wasn't answering my phone calls. I know she doesn't answer my phone calls for a variety of reasons. I was just making sure she wasn't mad or having a bad day, right? Again, trying not to be a brat.
He's still learning that one, I guess.
25 years in.
What do you mean? I'm not a brat. I'm a very good person.
The moment that you keep mentioning it, I think
He's trying to convince himself.
I know. I think you're in denial there, my friend.
It's projecting.
No, I'm not in
You're
denial of
projecting.
me not being a brat, but I definitely don't deserve half of what I have. I don't. Look at my life, guys. Oh my God. Just take a moment. Look at you guys. Okay? No shame. No shame. You guys work for everything you have. That's fine. Everything looks good.
This is like a one percenters talking to the workers.
Like you scrubs.
You guys work hard.
You guys put in work and you earn every dollar you own. When was the last time you saw me lift a goddamn finger? I showed up, literally, you guys were like, 1 o'clock, and I was like, okay. I got Starbucks. I helped Cassie get her car, and I showed up here like nothing was wrong. But I don't work for what I have. I put on a good smile, and I be the best person I can be, loving, kind, and, as generous as I can be. And I just also have luck, thank God, bless you. I have the excuse of being a broke college student.
For like one more semester.
And I'm applying to jobs, and then I'll get a job, and then I'll earn all the
this
money.
This guy is like the worst pretty woman in the world right now.
Yeah.
Pretty privileged.
Have you seen that movie?
No.
So like the premise of Pretty Woman is like she's she a prostitute?
I have no idea. I've never seen Pretty Woman.
She's something like that. She's low class, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
She gets night at like a really high end place. Some guy like falls in love with her and gives her the world, and she can go back to like said place, said store, and like be like pretty much buy it out and turn people's heads in that sense. He's doing the opposite. So instead of like working from the ground up, he's working from the top down.
Starting out with as much money as I can get, and then just coast.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my thing though. Like, ultimately, I know I'm gonna have to work. Right? There's no perfect universe in which I just win the lottery. Heaven forbid I win the lottery. If I ever won the lottery, my God, oh Lord, the world would be my bitch. If I had,
I feel like you say that he'd have 1 week of like fun, then after that you just go off the radar.
No, I have 1 week of fun, and then I get whatever job I can land, and then I have, that.
You really think you're gonna work if you win the lottery?
Yeah,
bro? I would, but I'm talking about him.
Oh, no. Here's the thing. If I won the lottery, all the lottery would do is remove the stress of finding a job, right? Right now, I'm all like, listen, if I don't find a job, I'm finding a job this year, not because I want to. I know I want to. When I had to work out of my side, did I do so because I was like, what would be fun? Getting a job. No, I was like, shit. I need money in my bank account.
Everyone goes into a job going, it would be fun to get a job. When I first started America's Tires back in high school, I didn't go, it would be fun to do in high school? Get a job. No.
But what do you do now? You go, if I sit at home, I go insane. So let me get a job.
So true,
Yeah, but there's very few people like that.
Right.
Most people are like, you could pay me to sit at home.
Straight.
I could not be paid to sit at home.
You could. If the government came to me and was like, "Kendall, you're a menace. Stay home all day. Here's
you menace. Go to your room."
Kendall's ideal world is him being on house arrest and getting paid.
Yeah.
That's just
Amazon exists. You guys come to my house. We can do the podcast there. But that's what I'm saying, right? Like, if I didn't have student loans, and also if I didn't feel so guilty for literally being a mooch, right? I would never find a job. I'd be like, you know what, guys? Thank you so much for everything you've given me. I'm gonna be a streamer.
Average stream views like 3.
Right.
2 of them is you and I, just because we feel bad.
just on in the background. We're not even at home, bro.
The third one is just Cassie listening from her real job. Like, that's my thing. So I see people like you who work hard, who genuinely believe you do this because it's your calling to be a hardworking American, right? Not me. No. I'm going to be a hardworking American out of pure necessity and nothing more. I'm never gonna look at a job and be like, oh my god, I can't wait to go to work
I
on
was
Monday.
literally the guy that's just like, I just need a 50 to pass. Alright, how do I get 50?
Facts. I need a 75 on my math midterm this semester.
Jeez.
Listen, I got a 42 on that midterm.
Jeez.
Goddamn, bro.
Yeah, nah. I've never been.
How are you not stressed about finals? You're usually stressed about
No,
finals.
I'm super stressed about finals. I just don't let the stress get to me anymore.
Nice.
The worst, like
There's no point in overstress. So, we talked about this. My perspective on stress is necessary. You need stress in your life.
Right.
Greatest example, the gym. Right? Literally, you go to the gym.
Kendall's like, could not relate. Couldn't be me.
You don't understand.
Oh, this again.
Lost me on that analogy, but okay.
Okay, here. It's very easy analogy. Very easy analogy. You're going to the gym. You're working out. You're literally stressing your muscles. There's no putting it aside. You're literally putting your muscles to the test. You're stressing them out. You're breaking them down, and they grow stronger. It's the same with just average stress. The problem is that we don't control that stress level, right? Or things in excess become too bad for us. People put too much stress on themselves where it becomes detrimental to your health. Yeah. So I think stress is healthy at a healthy level.
Yeah. And I have a healthy level of stress with my midterms. After this, I'm gonna go home. Continue studying throughout the weekend. My finals on Tuesday, Wednesday. Tuesday final is open book, open note, open internet. So that one's software engineering. So that's just learning about teamwork and the basic software development process. That one I'm not stressed about.
No.
I am stressed about the class about failing. But what I was trying to say earlier was, and this is another issue with myself. I don't like when I stress. I don't think very well. So I was like, Mom, pass this class. I don't know what I'm going to do. This is going to push me back a whole semester. I can't do it anymore.
Because you never deal with stress.
Right. And so my mom just goes, Kendall, you're being dumb. If you do not pass, you get an internship this semester. I know you've been putting it off for a couple of years, but you just get an internship. You'll be fine. You graduate in the fall. You get a job in the spring. I was like, yeah. And she's like, you graduate this semester. You finish. You get a job in the summer. I was like, that was fair.
When Kendall's mom's over it too.
My mom, listen. Yeah, mom. So I was like, oh, yeah, that's stress. She's like, all right, so those stress just passed. So I was like, okay. Also, my mentality on stress is it's there just to be there so you know where your priorities lie.
Well, that's yeah.
Right.
Helps you to focus in.
Right. But I don't stress it. I don't believe in stress.
Is that what you do if you win the lottery? You become a streamer?
No. If I won the lottery, I would show up. I would apply. I guarantee, if I won the lottery today, the first thing I would do, finish finals. Then apply to 200 jobs, and the first one that offers me any money, I say yes. And
so it don't even matter what you do. You just.
I will at first, right? I show up, I get that job, and I show up. I'm like, all right, here's the deal. You're gonna pay me whatever. I'm gonna show up on time, and believe me, when I show up on time, that means I'm really working for it. I'm really working for that. Because I tell you what, if I see Shell fuck right now, and not fuck like it usually is, like I'm going to bed at 3, waking up at 1. I mean, I'm going to bed at 6, and I'm laying in bed from 2 to 6 a.m. just going, well, yesterday I had to count down from 1,000. I made 500 before I finally fell asleep. So I show up on time. I do my work, and if something fucks up, I don't give a fuck. Tell me how to fix it. Get off my ass. That's the kind of mentality I have about what the lottery. That's it. Now I'm just if I now let me give you the parallel of that without the lottery. Fuck up. I'm like, no, don't fire me.
So one thing.
That's the only difference. Because I can't not be an unproductive member of society. I've mooched too long.
I
was just like, what? No, he's like, I gotta make up for it.
Yeah. No, like I said,
he's like, no, I won the lottery. This is too much luck for one person.
Right. No. I've had the excuse of being a college student. You could never call me a bum because I was still putting everything I had into going to college. But I was a bum. But you can't call me a bum because I'm.
It's like
you can't tell that to us because we know everything in the background.
It's like those people are like, I'm not an alcoholic because I'm still in college, but really they're damn alcoholics.
Yes. Which I'll call them out on it
Till they graduate.
Yeah. Once I graduate, I'm a grade A classified bum. All right. But until then, I'm taking 6 classes and I'm working hard.
Yeah, honestly, I probably wouldn't change a lot in my life either.
If you won the lottery? Yeah.
I love what I do right now.
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
See, this is a man that likes working.
I wouldn't change a thing of what I'm doing. Now, in terms of like financial like assets and like all that would definitely be a fucking.
I don't know if I live here, but yeah.
Well, I'd buy multiple properties.
Yeah.
So when I want to dip the fuck out, I will.
Yeah.
I would still work in my current job and then probably finish school and then do more video stuff, just buy video equipment or whatever.
See, that's what I'm saying, right? You win the lottery, you still do what you gotta do.
I'd be at the gym for 8 hours instead of 4.
If you won the lottery, you would open up your own gym.
I really would.
Yeah.
That's one of the first things I'd probably do.
Yeah. But see, my thing is,
I feel like I wouldn't even ball out, to be honest.
No, I'd literally just look for ways to keep.
I'd just buy like one fat house and that's it.
No,
and like other properties.
No, I'd buy multiple properties.
Yeah.
And I would do everything to take whatever I won in that lottery to generate more wealth.
Yeah.
That's it.
I would probably come to you guys and ask you what to do with the remaining money after I probably balled out for like a week. But my ball out would probably be Cassie.
Kendall buy Cinnabon every hour for a week.
No, dude, fuck.
But here's the problem with the lottery is like people don't turn that money into more money.
Yeah.
Right.
They just spend. They consume.
Mm-hmm. And the taxes.
So for me, I'd rather find ways to generate passive income, and then I'd start balling out. When I could generate passive income that compensates for that gap, then I'd be like, okay, Tokyo for sushi tonight? Let's go. I would love to fucking ball out, but I would be smart about it. I'd fucking first become passive with my money, let it grow, and then once I know it's gonna infinitely grow itself, then I'll be like, okay, I'm taking everybody to sushi in Japan.
Like on a private jet.
We're getting fine Fine Thai cuisine in Thailand.
I think if I won the lottery, I think I'd definitely take you out to like a good solid, like a fancy ass all you can eat restaurant. Because of that one time that
Just
I was
how I could take it down.
well,
He just takes us to Fogo de Chao.
Honestly, well, I would take you to Fogo de Chao. That's where you want to go. I'd let you pick whatever restaurant in the fucking world, and I'd take you there to eat because, dude, you don't know this, but there was a time where I was like broke, proper broke. Not like I am now.
Different kind of broke.
No, okay.
You've
also,
seen red.
I need to say this right now. I am only proper. I'm not really broke, but I'm broke now because I have to pay fucking rent. I did not. What the fuck? I swear, if I had commuted this semester like I wanted to, do you know how much money I'd have? Holy shit, bro! I'd have like 10 grand right now. But no, I had to call my dad yesterday just so I could cover rent.
Damn.
And you know what's actually really sad about that? My mom was like, "You might just have to get a job over winter break," and I was like,
He was like,
I was like, I could try.
Ken was like, I'm a finesse.
We'll put that off the side. We'll save that.
That's plan Z. Let me try out these other ones.
My first thought was like, I don't know if I can get back. What was that first job you and me worked together? What was that place called?
Tilly's.
I was like, I don't know if I can get back to Tilly's. I can't do that anymore. I could go back to America's Tires, but they latch on hard. They're like, because at America's Tires, I don't know what the fuck happened. That was the one job I had where I was like, I didn't even show up like on time all the time, but I showed up on time the most there. I worked so many jobs, bro. I don't know how. You know Zesties?
Yeah.
You know that whole tier system?
Yeah.
I got all the way to orange once because they were like, Kendall, you've missed in this month alone. You've woken up when you were supposed to be at the place, so you haven't picked up the food or done anything. And I was like, what do you want me to do about it? I was like, I can try. Listen, I'll miss every single one because some days are hard.
You're like, well, just give me later shifts then.
I was that's the thing. They were all lunch and dinner shifts. So their lunch shifts start at what?
And this fool sleeping through.
I'm a good employee. I'm an average employee. I'm not a great employee. I'm not you. I'm definitely not you. I could probably reach your level.
I don't know. I clock in early, bro.
Oh, okay. So I'm definitely not y'all. I'm definitely listen.
The bar was set at
Yeah, I was like
early.
If I can when I
Yeah, my boss is surprised. He's like, what fucking time do you clock in? Because I already have shit done when he logs on.
Yeah.
You know what I want to do for like an all-you-can-eat thing? Or just go to like a really go to like Nobu and turn it into an all-you-can-eat thing. Like just
It's not an all-you-can-eat.
I would take that. I would take that. If I won the lottery, that'd be your treat. I'd buy you whatever you want, man.
What'd you do for Cassie though?
Cassie won so many things, but basically mainly for Cassie.
Just
I'd buy that house we've been dreaming about for all these years. She wants a big backyard and a nice big.
You're gonna finally
space.
get your boat.
No, I've given up on the dream of a boat. My issue with boats is this mainly.
Maintenance.
No, I don't like the ocean.
This
I don't like.
But you're fine with like swimming and stuff.
I'm okay with pools. There's chlorine and that shit, and there's no like if something touches my foot and I can't see what the fuck it is. No, we got an issue. I remember I was fucking 14 and my dad took me jet skiing and we were stuck and it was the dumbest thing. None of us knew how jet skis work. So you know when you're going over seaweed, you're supposed to go fast so it doesn't get tangled in the propeller blades. Me and my dad were dumbasses. We went as slow as possible, and so every 5 feet, seaweed got tangled in the propeller. And like I said, I don't like when things touch me in bodies of water that's dark. My dad, I was like, why don't you get water clear out? What the fuck? My dad's like, Kendall, get in the fucking water. And I'm falling out of the propeller. I was so mad. I had to do it like 3 times. It was the most stressful thing I've ever done. And from that point on, I've never liked the water. Fuck nature. Bodies of water and nature are fucking scary.
I think you like
shit.
the snow, and so you don't like snow either.
I hate the snow.
This fool fucking his foot went in the snow.
Oh yeah, we were talking.
I hate the snow.
That was amazing.
It's
So you definitely can't live nowhere cold.
no Nebraska, dude, bro. You know how many fucking years I went to spend Christmas in Nebraska? Christmas in Nebraska fucking gets like 3 inches of snow on a night sometimes, right? Sometimes I think one year we got 6 inches in one night. I was like, what the fuck is this? My grandma can't shovel the driveway or salt the stairs. Right? My uncle definitely won't because there are younger kids for that. So you got
Why did we have kids to do our work?
Right. So you got
Like you gonna earn your food today.
And then on top of all that, I am the eldest male of my family. In my generation, my family's of my generation and my family, I'm the eldest male. So what does that mean? That means the other kids, the other boys, they're too young. They get to sit inside where it's nice and warm. And the girl, the only one worth a goddamn is fucking Jasmine because Jasmine don't take no shit from nobody and she's an independent woman. Alright?
See, that's the opposite from my family. I was the youngest. I'm the youngest male in my generation. But they still made me do everything. we had a different system working.
Yeah. Well, my thing was this. If I went up to my family and was like, make Malik and Kyrie do it. They were like, nah, cause what the fuck? They're fucking 8. I was like, I'm 12, it's totally different. Nah. Get out there and salt the stairs, shovel the walkways, and have the driveway, fucking do everything and anything. I was like, motherfucker.
See, that was the difference, I think, is we didn't have access to the higher ups. We didn't have access to the honestly. It was mitigated by the cousins. They created the class.
It was so annoying. So yeah. I could not live anywhere. I can't do nature. Cassie loves nature, so I'm gonna go ahead and like if we ever do get that dream house,
You get like a cabin or something.
Yeah,
somewhere
vacation
else.
home or something. Yeah.
No, she wants a big backyard. That's all she really wants. So I'll get her that big backyard. She can do her plants and everything like that. You know, she asked me to water plants, and that's so annoying. And it's not even. It's just watering plants, and I'm just like, I don't want to water plants.
Wait, but you have a whole ass cat, bro. What?
Kendall would be the guy.
You have like pets?
I have one cat.
Yeah, but you had Shaggy. You're doing more than just some.
Shaggy is just as spoiled as I am.
Kendall's the guy that would get literally fake flowers and take a fake tail and pretend to water them. Oh, so easy.
I put fake. There's no water in it. You're ruining it.
You take a fake pail and just be like, they're watered.
Yeah.
Look at how beautiful they look.
Yeah. I am not a nature guy. I go camping because I need to spend time with my siblings. I do that because I love them with all my heart. They are my precious, precious people. God damn. Fucking nature.
Well, you all went camping that one time for like a week.
We've gone camping, yeah, and it's so much fun. It's so much fun.
We chose like we got really lucky because that was when the meteor shower was going on.
Yeah.
It was cool.
But also, remind me, Steve, what did I do that entire camping trip? Did I cook?
No.
Did I do anything besides gather all those clams to try to eat those clams? That's all I did that entire weekend.
Kendall just existed. That was what he did there.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because I went with 4 other men that were all like, yes, we can do the cooking and gathering, like men. You guys got firewood and everything. What did I have to do? Sit around and wait for you to feed me.
Yeah, it was 4 guys, 3 girls.
Why does that remind me of High School Delete?
No, 4 guys, 3 girls. Yeah. What?
Have you seen High School Delete?
5 guys, 3 girls.
5 guys, right.
High School Elite. I've heard it.
I love that.
There's that one dude that just sits on the beach when everyone else is gathering all the shit at him.
No. Have we forgotten that one time we went bonfiring?
I was gonna say Kendall was the digger for bonfire.
I did, and I tried to chop that tree with a shovel that one time.
No, because this fool just like I bought a shovel. We have to use it in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I still have that shovel.
Oh man!
Listen,
out of context, what were you doing? Chopping a tree with a shovel?
See. I'm a hard-working individual. I'm just not the most effective one.
I was gonna say you are more of a work hard, not smart kind of guy.
100%. Why did I need to chop a tree with a shovel? I bought a shovel. I need to get my worth out of it.
And again, you're the guy that would like break down a calculator before checking to see if the batteries are still in it.
Yeah.
It's got to be a wiring problem. No, Kendall. The batteries are dead.
I had to reprogram the whole calculator just because I don't like the logic it's solid. It gave me an answer I didn't think I was gonna get. like I look at it goes, that's not on the multiple choice. It's time to reprogram this whole thing. See, like I'm a hard worker. That's my only redeeming quality. I'm a hard worker, and if I can find a simple solution to something, I will. I'll use that simple solution. 9 times out of 10, though, my simple solutions are ass.
The access to your hard work as well is like out of 10 days, 1 day out of those 10 days.
False. When I worked at Cisco, all those years ago, I showed up.
All those years ago for 6 months he worked.
Oh yes.
It was like 6 to 9
I
months.
showed up.
6 months he worked hard. Out of 25 years.
Fuck.
Hey, you can't hate on my work at American Stars either. I worked hard at American Stars. But yes, when I worked at Cisco, I showed up
we worked
at
together.
9:30.
I don't think I was allowing you to not work at least your fair share.
Nobody ever allowed me to not work. Even
No,
when
I
I
feel
was
like-
You know why? Because you were working with me a lot of the times. That's why I wasn't gonna let you not work at least your fair share.
well, they made me a team lead eventually. But then at that point, my team was ass, so I had to work
I was gonna
hard.
say, you know who I actually saw the other day? Remember Thomas?
Yeah.
I saw him yesterday.
What's he doing now?
I forgot.
Oh,
He's good. He's doing well.
I'm glad. He was such a nice guy.
He was. I know. He had the easiest job there. Inventory.
Right. I was like, how did you even fucking land that shit? I wanted inventory.
I got so mad at James for that. It's like, why is he doing inventory? I can do both. He's like, no, we need a designated inventory guy. I'm like, I've been doing both this whole time.
The inventory people were just the slowest people at changing tires, but they were just, you could see the hard work they tried to put in. They just couldn't keep up.
I loved him in inventory though, because there were days where I was just so tired. I was like, can you change? Like, yeah, I can. Really?
He was a
Thank
great guy.
you.
He was a really great guy.
Yeah.
Compared to some of the other people we work with, you know what I mean?
They were so lazy.
Yeah, I know some of them were fucking.
I can't believe it. Because I also went through a stint when I was like depressed and everything like that. That I stopped showing up on time. I was only like 5 minutes late.
Yeah. Even when
It's
I
so
was
funny
late.
saying that now because like I can't imagine being late anymore. But back then, like we were freshmen in college, and I was like, fucking being 5 minutes late. What's that?
Yeah.
You know what is that really?
Really?
Like all I'm missing is the morning meeting, and it doesn't ever apply to the fucking to the text.
Right.
And James fucking he was like, take a week off. And I'm like, oh, you're telling me to take a week off? I don't need this fucking job.
That's what I love the most about American Stars. It's just the unprompted hostility
Yeah.
at the job.
Out of pocket, like anger, dude. He's like, yeah, you need a week off, dude. Like, this is not acceptable. I'm like, I've only been like 5 minutes late, like a couple times. He was like, yeah, but it's not a good look. The punctuality's bad. I'm like, you know what? Fuck this. If I'm taking a week off, I'm taking the whole time. I'm gone. I'm never coming back then. Take that week and I'll add fucking years to that.
Like, I'm done with you. Right? But like nowadays, I'm not late for things anymore.
He said, looking back at that, dude, that was a big.
Oh yeah, hold up. Did you say you're not late for things anymore?
Sorry, I'm not. I'm not late to like important.
God damn.
I'm not late to things that actually. I'm not late to
Matters to
classes.
him.
No, I'm not late to classes anymore. But
She's my
I
cow.
will say this.
She's my cow.
The truth of it, the truth of that really goes like this. I'm either not late and I'm on time like that, or I just don't show up.
I'm just always early now, dude. I just can't. But that's come from like the years of experience of all the fuckers I've done, dude. When I used to work at Costco, all my coworkers had the same thing. They would be like, so we had Costco was really funny. They did this thing, you can be late up to like 10, or you can call out 10 times without it being an issue. After that, they start giving you like warnings and penalties. So I had coworkers who were literally like, oh man, my next 10th day that I called out on renews tomorrow. I can't wait to use it again.
Yeah, I'm surprised you never worked at Costco.
I couldn't work at Costco because I couldn't work at Costco. I was gonna say something and then I was like, you know what? I'm dug in deep enough hole for myself. Costco, it seemed like a decent job.
It was when I was 18. But 18, it was like a blessing and a half. I made the most. Like, I was making more money than any 18-year-old in my head. Right? No one was working.
Yeah.
No one was out of college at 18.
Yeah.
And minimum wage was like $10. And I was making almost double that. At 18, I'm like, oh shit. This is how they get you.
Yeah.
Because like they also threw benefits in and everything like that. I'm like, oh, this is how they get you to stay.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh.
Yeah.
And yeah, I left. I figured that trap out after a year. It took me a year to figure it out.
Yeah, but you're still making good money and you're 18, so like.
I know, dude. That same because I was working like 50 to 60 hours a week. I was making so much fucking money. I remember when the Switch first came out, I pre-ordered it. I was like, I'm gonna pre-order that. I'm gonna buy myself a PlayStation 4, buy myself a TV, and just start spending. You know, I was like, I don't know what to do with this money.
I will say this actually. Speaking of money, the only reason why I'm able to be the person I am is because I don't need things.
Yeah, me too.
I'm purely able. Like, if you go to my.
That's why my lifestyle wouldn't change if I won the lottery. Like, it would just help me to generate more wealth. And like I said, then I can just ball out even better. But
right.
That's like a.
That's all. Yeah,
that's down the line. I'm still 25.
That's a pipe dream.
Yeah.
But
a dream. It's gonna be a reality.
I couldn't work at Costco mainly because people kept telling me about their 7 a.m. start times, and I was just like, I can't do 7 a.m. start time. If you ask me to do a 7 a.m. start time, I'm just not sleeping the night before.
Well, the problem with me with Costco was I started at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
So when I first worked there, I started at 2, but it would go from 2 to 11 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
So
2 a.m. to 11. Yeah, that's
2 p.m. to 11 p.m.
Oh, okay.
So like I had from like 7:30, 8 o'clock to 2 o'clock to do shit.
Yeah.
And then I worked like 5 to 6 days a week. So I had like no time for anything but work.
Yeah.
Like when I was dating Maddie, dude, I would see her after work. Her parents had a curfew for me at their place, and I'd go hang out at their place at 1. So I'd get to her place at 12. I'd hang out with her for an hour. That's it. That was my whole thing. Yeah. And then I switched my schedule, and it was from 5 a.m. to like 1 p.m. It was way better for me, but I looked at it 5 a.m.
I can't like my thing is, if I'm gonna work a job, it has to be a 9 to 5. Purely for the fact that that's gonna be the most money for the most I'm willing to spend about myself.
Yeah.
Because like if I had to work from 5 a.m. to 1, right? I'm not sleeping. I'm not going. I'm gonna.
Well, that was the problem. Is like some days I would work with this different team, and we get in at like 2 or 3 a.m. And I would miss some of the days. Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna try and sleep at 9 p.m. and wake up at 2 a.m. too. Impossible. Yeah. So like, same thing. I just wouldn't sleep sometimes, and then I feel like shit because I go from 2 a.m. to 1 p.m. Yeah.
I tried pulling a 24-hour actually just 2 days ago because my sleep. I was trying to reset. It was so rough, and I don't know what it is, but my issue. I'm learning that my main issue and my biggest enemy and my biggest fault is having the ability to wake up. I want you to know today, Cassie tried to wake me up, and it was just I felt so bad. She tried to wake me up in like a horny way. That she was trying to be sexual and be like, yeah, let's go wake up and be all like, we're gonna get down, it's gonna be great. But she was touching my body and I was completely unresponsive. Then she went for my nipples, and I literally threw off the cover. I was all like, why are you touching my nipples? I haven't slept yet. I was just so angry. And I was just like, ah! But that was because I went to bed at 6. Yeah. And she was trying to wake me up at 11. And I was just like, nah. My biggest enemy is always going to be waking up at any time. Yeah. I wish I could fix it, but I'm not willing to. Right now, tonight, I'm probably going to study until 3 a.m., go to sleep, wake up whenever the fuck on Monday, continue studying until 3 a.m. again. If I could, pray to God I can fall asleep by 4, that'd be amazing. Me and sleep.
See, we're the same, but I don't get off of work till like 2:30, 3 a.m. But I have the same thing. I'm like, I hope I can go to bed by 3:30, 4 a.m.
Yeah. I dream of the days where my sleep schedule will finally be fixed, but I'm never going to. One, I don't do enough in my day to make me tired. And two, I'm not willing to actually. Because I read this thing, it was like 2 hours before you go to bed, no food, no screen. But
I've seen that.
And it works. But I like listening to things as I fall asleep.
Yeah.
I've been listening to this book, and I'm too interested in the book, so I'll play it and then try to go to bed, and then I'm just up like, this dumb bitch, what the fuck is she doing? All that stuff.
Have you ever seen or we're gonna switch topics because this was the topic we were supposed to talk about today, but like we got a little sidetracked.
Yes.
So I always have these thoughts, especially now because I've been reading a lot of Korean mangas, and a lot of them have to deal with the same topic, like rankers and like dungeons and this and that. And like it's almost like they're blending. It's like so it's not quite isekai, but what it is like two worlds colliding, and there's a gate that'll access you to like a world full of demons and monsters, and that is that access point of like magic power and being able to have magic abilities, skills, and they call them rankers, right? So a lot of the main character proposals is they went through their first life, got really far, knew what the goal was in mind, but never was able to see that goal through because they didn't have enough information in their first life. They would regress, so they die. They would regress to a point in their life where they could make different decisions to help them reach that goal.
Yeah.
So you keep it up. Right?
I'm keeping up. It reminds me of the book I'm listening to right now. It's not the same, but basically it is an isekai, except the only considerable difference is the people of this world, when they find out you're from another world, don't think you're crazy, and they just actually go like, oh, so what's it like in your world? And people are telling them, and they're going like, oh shit. So you're telling me there's a thing like technology that lets you basically do magic, but it's not? And they're like, yeah. And so it's similar because there's ranks, skills, magic, and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, first we have to divulge to this one.
Yeah.
Because I've had to stop. Because this idea, I mean, I've always had these ideas. And I say this with, like, the most sincerest, like, this is the same question coming from someone who's healthy and loves life, right? But, like, I've always been curious about what happens after that.
Right.
And, like, those kind of books or stories, mangas, have been diving into this idea of regression. Right, you die and you go back to like almost like a checkpoint in your life, where you can either run the same track if you want, right, or if you. And here's the added caveat: though, is like they go back with the same memories they had in their first life. Right? So if you had those memories in the second life, like what would be that checkpoint? You know what I mean? Like for me, I always think about it like, is there like a point in my life? Okay, this is this idea of post-mortem death. I die. I'm regressing.
Yeah.
Where would I regress to? Why? And then what's the goal? Why do I have to regress to this point? What's my target that I'm trying to reach? So
I know exactly where I would regress to, and it's the saddest thing in the world.
Right after high school.
7th grade. 7th grade, during that talk with Mr. Wakefield, caught my phone. Remember, I was playing that game on my phone. He was just standing over me and caught me. I don't know why, but like.
Did you feel like that triggered a downfall?
Well, no. For some reason, that moment weirdly is like where I claim to have gained full consciousness. I don't know what it is. What it is about that moment, but like everything up to that point was like weirdly a blur,
Like a daydream.
like a daydream. Yeah, and then for some reason in 7th grade, my eyes like opened, and I was like, oh. I'm a full person. You know what I mean? So like I think I would regress to like when I finally achieved like what I would deem my full consciousness. That's why.
for me, it's more. I guess it's a little more. So I haven't figured it out yet in terms of like why I would need to regress. Right? I feel like that's like a criteria that.
Oh, do we need to have a reason to?
No. I'm just saying. right? Because
you can't really think about time.
Yeah.
well, you can if you want to. So for me, like at this point, it'd be like 5th grade because that's when I like first had my first permanent injury, which is like I chipped my tooth, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't really, your tooth can't fix itself. I had to get a fake tooth.
Yeah.
I would do that just to see how I could be at my most optimal.
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, I don't think like this is just like a anime, like spoken thoughts, but like I don't have a reason to regress yet. That's why I haven't died.
Yeah, same.
Like there's no oh, I found the villain of my life. I found the purpose that I needed. I found the goal. I'm trying. I haven't hit that. I'm going to be Hokage.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't been like, oh, I'm gonna stop the 4th Shinobi, or you know what I mean. Like, I'm gonna be the king of fire. I haven't had that epiphany yet, so I'm not allowed to die.
No.
I'm not allowed to regress and die, or die and regress. Sorry.
I mean, I've had that moment where I was just like, I know why. If I'm to do anything significant in my life, I know what it will be and I know why. But I haven't. I think my life, as it is just. I have two ways of thinking about my life. One, either the universe knows at some point in my life I struggled. Some point in one of my past lives, I struggled incredibly hard, and it went. You know what, guy? You know what? Have a free life on us. And the universe has just been on my side. But like it's not on my side fully, like always just like, listen, we need you to have some struggle in life. Just enough to keep you from descending into full bum.
Yeah.
But like not enough struggle in my life to go and say, you need some change and this is what's gonna propel you to becoming someone great. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, I know if I ever am to do something great, it's gonna, because my dream, my full dream is to be the person that gets us out of Earth. Like, gets us to space in the full sense. Not in this bullshit, oh, we're finally in the next 10 years going to land on Mars.
Are we getting out for salvation or for exploration?
Exploration.
Okay.
I think the biggest issue that affects our planet as a whole is the fact that now we live in a globalized world where everybody knows about everybody else. And so now there's nothing left to do except focus on everybody else. Then now we're all looking around and we're like, when's the next thing going to happen? Who's going to be doing what's happening here?
That's why I stepped out.
Right. So if I could contribute anything to our world, it would be the reawakening of a great adventurers and explorers that would go out into the universe to discover new things and expand upon what we think we know.
Yeah.
But
I was reading this one I think I'm at like 30 now. Stories that I'm like keeping up with. And one of them, like he becomes a hero, he gets this overpowered sword. Literally the title of this series is called The Overpowered Sword. He gets this sword that's like the sword of the last hero of the like a legendary hero.
Mm-hmm.
And it carries the essence of that hero in like the form of like a little soul.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh dude, life isn't like being a hero is not easy. Like it's not like you find the villain and you defeat him. It's not that easy being a true hero anymore. Like you gotta fight poverty, you gotta fight like environment. Yeah, he said a bunch of other things, you know what I mean? Greed, you gotta fight greed. You have to fight all of these things that are not just like one embodiment of a demon. You know what I mean? Like you gotta fight these literal issues. And I'm like, dude, yeah, it's true. Mm-hmm. It's true, but still like there's someone that's controlling that aspect to make it. So
there's some guy hidden in the shadows
who's puppeteering.
Yeah, exactly.
For
right.
Sure.
Yeah.
And that's one of the dreams I've always wanted to have. It's such a weird dream, right? Like isn't like everyone's dreams is like well not everyone's. I feel like a lot of people's dreams are just like something very like small. Rainbow, unicorn shit.
World peace and everybody's bellies are full and we don't have to worry about anything.
My dream was literally like I want to go through a tough fucking battle. Mm-hmm. And just wreck some guy's ass and save the world from that. Like doing something like that. Like, that's a dream for me. You know?
Well, but like that's always good. I mean, because I'm saying here because like remember the Kojo thing. It's always that's my way of dreaming of basically what you're dreaming of.
Yeah.
It's like it was like I wake up one day and my powers finally come to being and now I have a face of villain that's just as strong as me, and by defeating him, I conquer something or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. That's a dream I wish I had, but I recognize one flaw about my dream compared to yours. Your dream honestly would work out because you're a person that believes in hard work. You would go out. For me, somebody has to show up and be like, you are the reincarnation of a big ass motherfucker. Here you go. Here's his old staff with all his magic and knowledge inside of it. Now you don't have to work for it. So, but you would be the person who, if someone came up to you with like a genuine legendary quest, you'd be like, count me in, bucko.
Yeah. You know, like there's the difference, really. So like your dreams, I always feel like no matter what, if you want that to happen, you can make it happen. My dreams are very reliant on somebody else showing up and saying,
Someone needs to fucking jumpstart my battery.
right? Like I'm gonna sit here and somebody needs to come find my ass because I'm that important. Like, you know, that's why my only real dream is that whole space thing, because it's just like, well, the only thing I find interesting and fun to any extent is the increase of my own knowledge. There's a funny character in my book right now that I'm exactly like him. His name is Pisces. He's this great mage and everything. He's like super like smart and like a genius almost, right? Mm-hmm. But the funny thing about him is, despite being a great mage, capable of necromancy and almost like 20 different types of like schools of magic and everything like that, he lives in the forest and his robes are always dirty and he's broke as shit. And he has no money, and he mooshes off of this.
The main character, so it's called The Wandering Inn. Basically, chunks of humanity were isekai, and they were supposed to all show up in one place, but a bunch of them just showed up in random places. And so she shows up, finds an inn, says, "Oh fuck it," says, "I can't get back. I'm just gonna start running an inn so I can have a place to live, or I don't have to pay for anything, and I can just eat, sleep, and be safe, and learn until I'm ready to do something."
Yeah.
So he just shows up almost once a day and goes, "Solstice, aren't I one of your most loyal patrons?" And she's like, "If you pay for shit," and that's me. I'm that guy. I'm that guy that's like, I would increase my knowledge to like ungodly levels, but also still be like broke as shit.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing.
Yeah. Let's go back to that regression I just said.
Yeah.
So we don't know our purpose yet, in the big grand scheme of things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But so you said you regressed back in 7th grade. I said 5th, so it's relatively similar. Right?
Yeah.
We regressed to a point where we're still like adolescent,
Mm-hmm.
and we have a lot of room for growth.
Mm-hmm.
Like, would there be, without changing the timeline, is there things that you would do differently, mindset wise, knowing what you know now?
Yeah.
That you would use that.
I would first start with getting my money right. I know when we're kids, we don't have a lot of money, but like,
how would you go about that? Because I've thought about this. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, 5th grade, I really can't do the lottery.
right.
And yes, I could tell someone to do that, but how is that going to benefit me? You know what I mean? Like, it might not. It might not. But at the same time, that's not a guaranteed, surefire way to guarantee my finances are going to be square.
Right.
Same thing. At the same time, I was like, finances. Honestly, actually, first I was like, I would start working out harder. I wouldn't do that.
My body was like,
Ken was following you, and then you started working out, and he's like, "God damn."
I was like, God damn it. I was like, yes. And then you're like, first thing actually is I would just get more swole. What the fuck is it? Like, am I the only person here that's just like, fuck this? I'm like, come on now. Listen, I don't
be doing like push-ups, sit-ups. I'd be running every day. I'd do everything to get my fitness. Because I'm here to fight a demon lord. Get that right.
Listen, if Elon Musk doesn't need a six-pack, neither do I. I just, as long as I don't look worse than Elon Musk, I think I'm doing quite fine. I'm not. I take in all my life, in all my daydreams, and in all of my wildest fantasies, I've never Never gone. I wake up at 9 a.m. and I hit the fucking gym. Like, what the fuck? Okay. So,
that is a daydream I have, dude.
fucking
I
gym
literally I'll get upset. I'm like, oh my god, I still have to eat, but I still need to do my 3 exercises. Now I need to, and I'll just be like, wait, I also gotta do this one. I'm like, I'm gonna make this work. Okay. Outside of that
one, the metabolism I had at 7th grade, thank God.
Outside of that one, because that one's a me, I guess. That wasn't just a me thing.
No, I'm sure this is for many people, not me. Okay. That's so stupid, I'm sorry. I go back to, it's stupid to me only because it's like, you're fucking in 5th grade. Your body is at the most prime it will ever be to just fuck it up and not have any repercussions. Alright.
It would just be body. You just push ups and sit ups and then it's running. And I wouldn't lift weights.
You and me have very different views on why physical prime is important. Though. My reason for being physical prime is just so I can be hot. Nothing else.
Yeah.
I am. God knew what he was doing when he made me 6'2". He was like, this man's not going to want to work for it. He needs some sort of leverage. He needs some sort of leverage just to make the way he's saying. You're just like, this motherfucking. But yeah, God knew I wasn't going to work for it, so God needed to give me 200 pounds and say, listen, as long as he doesn't throw out his back, he can lift whatever the fuck he needs to lift. I'm never gonna fight. I'm never gonna fight anybody. If I had to fight you, yeah, bro. I just, you know, I think I could probably maybe outrun you.
Wait, what age did you say you regressed?
5th grade.
You said 7.
Yeah. I could probably. I'm telling you now, I could probably outrun Steve. Only.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Damn.
I don't like to work out, but I'll tell you what I do like to do.
Right.
I like to hit. I like to sit on the treadmill for about 10, 15 minutes, just fucking go.
Why did I imagine him actually sitting on a treadmill?
Not sitting out there, but like I like to go on the treadmill and I just like to go for it. I like sprinting.
So do I.
Yeah.
I used to be a sprinter.
Wait, you used to do long distance.
I know. I only did long distance because they wanted me to do track and field because they needed me as a thrower. Yeah, they didn't have enough people on the throwing team, so it was either I could do throwing or sprinting, and I tried to do both, but they just were like, "No, we need a 4th person for the throwing team," so they put me there. That was the only reason. My grandma always thought I was meant to be a sprinter, so I like running. I do, and I can do long distance, but mainly the only reason I think I can outpace you is because of my stride. You could probably catch up with me and kick my ass.
I have no idea. I really wouldn't. I can't really say.
I think you might. I think you still got me beat. But I think I could keep up with you running. I'd be complaining and heaving the whole time. Probably shit myself, but I'd keep up with you.
Yeah, I don't know.
Alright,
Maybe.
well, get back on topic.
So
those are
outside of that one. So finances. How would we get that squared away? Because in my head, I would like, even if I was like, and you can't do anything at.
You don't need to really. But with the knowledge you have, my main question to you is, if you had the knowledge you have now, but in your 5th grade body, could you use that knowledge to convince your parents to get their money?
Yeah, I definitely would have told them not to put me in private school.
Well,
I would have.
I think you
I
should.
would have, because it put me around smart individual.
Right. And I
But
think
it
also
made my dad take forever to buy a house of his own, so I didn't think it was worth it.
Yeah,
I know,
but
but
the
like-
thing is, like, if you could, I know what you're saying, and this is what I'm thinking too. Is like, can you convince them, like, hey, jump into Apple now, or jump into Snapchat before Snapchat pops up. Jump into Facebook.
Bitcoin between this time and this time, just so you can cash out real quick. You know
Honestly,
what I mean?
I don't think I could convince him.
I would have been able to.
Yeah.
I don't think I would be able to.
I couldn't convince. I could.
My
convince
dad would
my-
probably think I'm an idiot.
Right.
Like, what the fuck's wrong with
I think the best I could do is with whatever money my parents gave me for my birthday, I could convince them to put it where I want them to put it. Like I'd be like, if they gave me, my mom did one thing where she was like, I'm gonna take, if I got $100, she got to keep 90 of it and put it somewhere for me to hold on to until I needed it, and I got to keep 10.
I
Right?
probably wouldn't have to talk to my mom.
Yeah.
Just because, like, she's really smart. But in that world, like, if I'm 5th grade with this kind of mind, I would know how to communicate well enough to convince her to do something like that. Like, hey, put it towards this.
Right.
Or, like, she has one of those. Well, I can actually convince either one of them to win the lottery. Like if I just track the numbers back to that year and just be like, hey, I have a really big hunch that these are the numbers. So that'd probably be an in. And I think that'd be step one. Because then it'd build a trust of like something's there.
Yeah.
Like he's gotta be the psychic or he gets the numbers. So I would take that trust and I'd turn it into be like, okay, now take some of that money and put it into Bitcoin, put it into Apple, put it into Facebook, and just let it sit for a hot minute. Watch. Just put it into Snapchat when it comes out. There's a thing called Snapchat that's gonna come out in my high school years. Wait for it. It'll pop up. Just St. Francis got crazy for that.
Yeah.
So
like that. Yeah. You see the method we're trying to take here is
literally, I've thought about this really deeply, as you can tell.
Yes, I like that. And I think that's honestly it is the smartest move because like your parents, they you couldn't convince your fathers most likely than not.
Again,
I think my dad would have been fine because one, he used to buy lotto tickets back then,
Yeah.
so he would have let me pick the numbers.
yeah,
I'm sure he would. Yeah,
it's only $1 investment.
but
Like instead of going like $50 into Apple, I don't know if it's gonna do well.
Right.
Oh, what
The
about
stock
$1 to like a random game?
Right.
A lotto game.
But then the issue from there becomes very difficult because now if you go to your parents and say, take this $20 you gave me, please go ahead and throw it into a stock profile for this or that, right? And let that sit. And every time you got money, you did that and that grew. Your parents would eventually go, oh, he knows what he's doing. He's making money, right? But if you go ahead and you go into the lotto, then that's not your money. They didn't go, oh, wow, he picked these numbers and he won. I guess he's entitled to some of it. They're going to be like,
No,
great.
but that's not the idea, right? Because their wealth is
but
going to
like,
eventually be our wealth.
Even
Right?
if they don't give me all the money, just goes to our family.
Because if
right?
they're
But I
well
don't
off,
trust my dad.
I'm going to be well off,
Yeah.
right? And then again, it's not even about the money coming to me. It's building that trust that they'll take my word a little more serious. So then I can start going like, okay, you're going to cut some for me and some for him and some for everybody else.
Mhm.
Take my cut, take like a portion of it and throw it into these. Because I didn't throw you random numbers. Like I knew what the numbers were going to be. So there has to be something there. I'm onto something and you know it kind of thing, right?
But riddle me this just real quick, because I had the same idea all the time. But can you tell me the lottery numbers from that time when there was $1 billion pot?
No.
It's not hard to look it up.
I know it's not hard to look it up, but can you tell me them off the top of your head?
No.
That's my thing. Because these.
But if I knew I was going to regress to that time period.
But you don't. That's the beauty. That's the thing about it. Those types of like in almost any.
So here's what you do then.
Yeah.
You would.
Isn't that kind of like what happens in
You're talking about Reezy, right?
that one anime where he goes back to his childhood to save the girl?
Erase?
Yeah, Erase. He doesn't know why he's there for like the first 2-3 weeks, and then he kind of figures out like.
He kind of figures it out. Here's the thing though. If you could break that down systematically too. Right? If you're going for $1 million pots or $1 billion pots, then that cuts out a lot of the options. So you only have to memorize like so many of those.
Right.
I don't know, my memory's pretty fucking spat, bro.
I know, but what I'm saying is like, you never know when you're gonna die. One and two.
You don't know when if regression is a real thing. You don't know when you're gonna regress.
What if it was like
Exactly.
what if it was like a case like a race though?
Huh?
Where would you think you'd get sent back to? Like in a case like a race where he doesn't. Does he die in that? He doesn't die.
No, but that's the thing is like a lot of those regressions go to a point where you could have made a
Different
change.
choice, yeah.
You could have taken your mentality and sharpened it,
Mm-hmm.
and it would have progressed you a different path that would have been more
Yeah,
successful.
outside of
It wouldn't
finance,
skew
really.
the timeline too much. It's almost like going into a parallel world, right?
But
What's happening is the timeline doesn't change much until you start making those crazy decisions that benefit you. Then you start to see a skew. It's like they did this in The Flash, right? He went back in time, saved his mom, and realized that the skew of the timeline he's now is so off that it really fucked him. So he went back again, and he couldn't skew it back right because it was like, so here's our timeline. He went, okay, let's take a divergence.
Yeah.
And then he went, let's correct. But the
correction.
timeline is a linear thing.
Yeah.
So it just goes, oh, there is a point we meet, but now I'm still going this path. And the more he keeps going back and forth,
Yeah.
he might be able to get it. You
Kind of
might be able to get the timeline right, but with all these major fuck ups in between.
Yeah. But what I'm getting at is if you went back with the knowledge you have right now, we wouldn't have any lottery. Like if if a light shined down right now and took you to your regressive point, the knowledge you have in your brain now. So like, that's what I'm getting.
My question is outside of like finance.
There's just
So what time do you?
That's what I'm trying to say.
What time period do you think you'd get sent back to for what reason?
I told you, it would definitely be 7th grade because it would be the time where like my actions really started to matter, right? The knowledge I learned, the connections I made. 7th grade was when those big, like that's when you and me really started our friendship. You know what I mean? We were always friends.
I started in 3rd grade because I went to daycare, but yeah.
Well, yeah, but
Like in 7th grade we had a different daycare group that was closer.
Well, no, in 7th grade, that's when I started. I don't remember what we did between 3rd and 7th grade, but I know in 7th grade we started going over to your house and started having like those fight club meetings and all those random. That's when I started really remembering things.
For me, like I said, 5th grade, just because that's when I got my first permanent injury.
Right.
If it wasn't that time point, like if that was just like, okay, whatever, like deal with it, thank you, whatever.
Yeah.
It would definitely be high school, like literally like going into freshman year, because the same thing. That's when I realized who were real and who weren't.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't for like I knew who I was the whole time, but I was like, oh, I found out that this person's not really a friend of mine. He was just convenient for him because we went to say small 336 student class.
Yeah.
And like my decision would be vastly different. Because again, if I had that knowledge, I'd be like, I know how this person's going to turn out.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do I want to try and keep them on my team and try and change their minds, or is it a lost cause? So like, I wouldn't date the same people I dated. You know what I mean? Like I would be like, I went through that. I know how that's going to end up.
Mm-hmm.
There's no point in changing it because it was never correct to begin with.
Right.
So now I've just saved that much time in my life. I still remember the memories of it, so I still have the experience of it.
Yeah.
And I don't have to go through the process again.
Yeah. I would do the same thing. But to be fair, the people I've only dated 2 people, so I just cut one out. There you go. It's not a big change. Honestly, it would just save me 3 years of my life that went wasted.
I think mine would be like 3rd or 4th grade.
Why?
3rd grade was like when I started martial arts. I would have done things different there. 4th grade is when it was the only year in school that I was ever quiet. And that was because my dad was like, if you get in trouble this year, I'm going to send you back to India. I don't think he was like legit serious.
No, but
he said that, but I think that would have been a turning point. Like if I actually went to 5th grade and still stayed quiet and just did my work and just went home, I think that would have changed it. But I did the opposite. Like I still got in trouble in 5th grade. Like 4th grade was an anomaly all the way through high school until I hit community college.
Yeah.
So it would have been the other side if I just
kept your head down, and like guy work.
Because that's what I did at community college. Everyone was like, "Oh, your head was down." But 4th grade was the only other time before that where my head was just like,
Like, it's like my other thing too is like if I do get to keep the knowledge I have now, grades won't become an issue. I'm smart now.
It would literally be like classroom.
Right. Yeah.
I would like, I'll just do it because it's convenient.
I was like, how do I go back into 5th grade when we're learning basic algebra and fail now that I'm a computer scientist? You know what I mean? It was like, I know theory of computing and quantum physics and astrophysics. I'm not gonna show up in fucking 7th grade and go, oh no, who's the 26th president of the United States? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
My whole history would be history too.
See, that's the thing is like I wouldn't change a lot of those little things. You know what I mean? Like I'd probably stay on the same work path I was in school because I didn't like bust my fucking balls in class, but I did try enough to, I like challenging myself. So it was like a learning thing for me. It wasn't a let's get the grade.
I'll tell you, you know what I actually would be something I would do? I would, if I did go back in the 7th grade, I think past finances and making sure my connections were right and, changing how I spent my time, at least romantically, right? My first genuine action would be to write a research paper on warp drives and all the technology that I know we're just getting to now. And I feel like if we could get like a nice decade head start on any of that,
that's a huge skew though. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I think in mind with that kind of thing too. Is like you're cutting out 10 years, or you're regressing the whole technology world by 10 years.
Yeah.
Not giving the time to let it develop into those 10 years.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a lot of repercussions for that.
Yes, but
And you're okay with those repercussions.
well, I am okay with those repercussions because currently speaking, that technology doesn't exist. Like warp drives, we have a theory of it set up. We've done some experimentation on it, and and I don't know if you've done any research on warp drives or how they work, but basically they're like, it's called the impossible box because the idea is you can generate an infinite amount of force, but minutely as it scales higher. Anyway, we're basically at like ground zero right now, where like nothing has been developed.
I feel like that's a good thing though.
Why?
Because technology is where it's at today.
Yeah.
If we had technology at 7th grade, we were in 2011. So yeah, like 11 years ago, I don't think the technology would be enough for us to be like we could be doing things where experiments can go completely wrong. We don't have the technology to mitigate those repercussions.
Yeah, but I'm saying even if with the technology I would bring back is technology that even if they had another decade, it would only propel them minutely forward. It wouldn't be like, oh, instead of being in 2020 and we're just now thinking about the technology, we would be in 2020 and they would just start doing the experiments. But it would still be a theory at that point. Because this technology is hundreds of years ahead of our time. We're never going to get warp technology in our lifetime. And even if we do, never say never. Even if we do though, like I want to be ahead of the curve because I need to be in control of how that technology is distributed.
Yeah.
So if I write that research paper and that technology does make it to, actual application by the time I'm where I am now I can get ahead of that curve. I can start a business using that technology, and now it's not just owned.
See, for me, my changes would not skew the timeline too much. The only thing that I think I would do differently, vividly, and I know I'd make a lot of different, small changes too, would just be the confidence of knowing that how I carried myself in high school was the way I should have carried myself in high school at the time.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of doubt there, and I think that doubt really made me hinder my best abilities, and by knowing oh no, things are just always going to go on up and up for you if you stay on the track.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of things would change without changing the timeline too crazy. Because that's the problem is okay, so this is the problem that I'm saying is you're making that 10-year jump, but now that you did that, we have no idea what's going to happen after that. Now your timeline's completely gone. So all that knowledge you have, all that experience you carried in those 10 years, the gap 10 years, is going to be not completely tossed out, but it's not going to be what you know.
Yeah.
Everything's going to start changing. You know what I mean? Small events, big events, we have no idea. You are now going into the unknown completely, like we are now. Right? We're always going into unknown. This is going to another.
Yes.
For me, I want to stay on the timeline because I know what's going to happen on that timeline until I need to jump out into the unknown and branch out.
That's fair.
You're making a leap, which is fine. I'm calculating.
But and we can continue this on an episode. Really, what you're saying is true. The way I would do things would drastically change. But if I brought quantum computing, fucking 2008, right? I don't know what year we were in. 2010 in 7th grade, right? We graduated.
Yeah, 2010.
Yeah.
2011, yeah.
So if I brought quantum computing as we know it now to 2010, right, and then let them work on it from there on to there, it would be a whole different ballgame. We have no idea what's gonna happen. But if I do that now, not only can I get ahead of what it's gonna be like, but I can now actually control the distribution, how people use it, view it, what it's going into. Because if I do go back in time with the knowledge I have now, my main goal will be to gain as much control and power as possible, so that just to guide humanity
not into what we have today, but something better. Now it could be worse. It could be much worse. But that's we always play that risk at any given time. But we could talk about this more on another episode. For the time being, it's your boy Waffles.
And your boy Mally.
And this is
Couch Surfing.